Welcome to this computer-based training module about voyage planning. This module contains the following subjects: Piracy. The learning objective for this chapter is to make ship's officers aware of the increasing risk of piracy at sea and familiarize them with some points on how to deal with this problem. Piracy is an increasing problem for today's shipping in several ways. Here are some reasons. An increasing number of seamen are killed every year. An increasing number of ships are lost every year. Lack of international response to the problem. Unclear legal definition of piracy. Who shall pay for investigation, etc. In some areas, officials are indirectly involved with the pirates. Tackling piracy is incredibly difficult, and you will soon learn that evil men are not always stupid. The officer of the watch of a ship that is likely to operate in waters that may present a risk of attack by pirates or armed robbers should be familiar with the International Shipping Federation publication Pirates and Armed Robbers, a Master's Guide, and IMO Resolution, Measures to Prevent Unlawful Acts which Threaten the Safety of Ships and the security of their passengers and crews. IMO has for some time worked to develop an international code for investigation of piracy. The internationally accepted definition of piracy is an illegal act committed on the high seas. Unfortunately, most attacks are executed in territorial waters, and as we all know, piracy does not respect international borders. And so far, no agreement about who should pay for the investigation has been reached. Piracy is increasing dramatically, and the official numbers are only the tip of an iceberg. Therefore, something must be done soon in order to reduce loss of lives and money in the future. The International Maritime Bureau would like the definition of piracy to be changed to: piracy is the act of boarding a vessel with the intent to commit theft or any other crime, and with the intent or capability to use force in the furtherance of the act. Under this definition, the hideous scale of piracy cannot be ignored. The most notorious waters for piracy are those of Indonesia, the Philippines, and East Malaysia. When sailing in these areas, all possible precautions should be taken, and additional personnel allocated for lookout. Attacks are normally, but not always, made at night, and can generally be grouped as follows: attack while ship alongside or at anchor. Attack underway. Pirates are normally armed with firearms, knives, and swords. Under no circumstances should ship's personnel risk their lives to protect property, as this can only make the situation worse. When the ship is at anchor or alongside, strict control must be maintained at all gangways and accesses, allowing only those who are identified and authorized to board. At night, all upper deck lighting should be on, and extra lighting should be rigged in such a way that no dark areas appear around the ship. Patrols and watchmen should be maintained on the upper deck throughout the hours of darkness. Whenever possible, passage of dangerous areas should be made in daylight. Maximum safe speed should be used in pirate waters. A good radar and visual watch should be maintained. Take care to give a wide berth to small stationary objects or boats, particularly if they show no lights at night. Patrols and watchmen should be maintained on the upper deck throughout the hours of darkness. They should be equipped with radios and batons and should have easy access to a charged fire hose on deck. There is a general understanding that piracy is an activity practiced in poor countries, where there is corruption and where the forces of law and order do not exist or are corrupt as well. Ship's personnel do not expect well-organized attacks in European ports. Sadly, they exist, and it is always necessary to be vigilant, making sure that secure spaces and cabin doors are locked at all times. Remember, piracy can take place anywhere, at any time. After pirates have boarded, the following checklist may be useful. Barricade engine room and bridge, if practicable. Barricade the crew in secure areas, if practicable. Report the situation by radio and call for help, if available. Masters must take whatever action they consider reasonable to repel boarders. They should avoid putting themselves or the crew's personal safety at risk. On the following pages, you will be asked some questions.